When you look at, talk about culture, you naturally end up talking about language, the way people talk, which reflects the way they think. And this came out of the Toyota Culture book. We talked about the language of Lean Six Sigma compared to the language of the Toyota Way. And we hear things in Lean Six Sigma like we need to deploy the methodology, which we don't hear within Toyota. They're more likely to say we're trying to grow people's capability. We talk in Lean Six Sigma about the Master Black Belt. And in fact, we're using that terminology in the courses we offer because it's recognized in the world, and it's a credential that recognizes a certain level of achievement. In Toyota, they're less interested in marking specific levels of learning as they are in growing your capability to teach and be a sensei. And a sensei has to earn the respect of the student because of their demonstrated knowledge and their demonstrated ability to teach and coach. And it's an ongoing process. You're always learning how to be a better sensei. In Lean Six Sigma, we collect data. In the Toyota Way, we go to the Gemba, or in Toyota's case, we go to the Genchi Genbutsu, which is the actual place, and we look at the actual part. Or we go to the general area where we think the problem occurred, and then we find the specific point at which the problem occurred, and we observe it firsthand. Kaizen events or rapid improvement events have become very popular as a deployment method in Lean Six Sigma, and they're not really a PDCA method to achieve your annual goals in Toyota. What they are activities that you specifically organize in order to teach a group of people something. So therefore it's called Jishikan, or voluntary self-study. You don't deploy the standard method in Toyota, as I mentioned. Teams own the standardized work, and they adjust and adapt the standardized work as conditions change, line speeds change, the particular work layout changes. Someone has a Kaizen idea. We discover a new specific cause of defects. All those will result in a change in the standardized work. So the standardized work becomes a living, breathing, evolving document. Instead of spread best practices, as I mentioned, we Yokoten. Instead of deploying metrics, we develop a daily management system where a group owns the metrics and they're trying to achieve specific goals for the year. They'll change year by year, and then they're measuring the drivers, what they think are the drivers that will address the countermeasures that will get them closer to the goal. And those drivers can, for example, in the case of productivity, it might be scrap and rework. So I'm measuring scrap and rework, but I'm really interested in productivity because I'm trying to reduce cost. So you'll see this chain of measures where something at the working level is very different, like scrap and rework, than at the top level that the company is looking for, which is cost reduction. What Toyota does that we believe allows them to accomplish more and be more adaptive to the environment, I believe the adaptation of Toyota today to the Great Recession, to the political recall crisis in America, to the greatest earthquake and tsunami in Japan, to the greatest flooding in Thailand, and then coming out and again being #1 and rated in tops in quality, and sales are growing very well, profits are going through the roof compared to where they had been in the last few years. All of that is adaptation that's happening everywhere in the company. And the reason why they're able to do that is because they have created a system that surfaces problems, and the problems are then visible, transparent, and open. Then they concentrate their efforts. They develop a focus on the most important issues for their survival and prospering in the long term, not just the short term. They teach this set of principles, the Toyota Way, and the method for achieving it, Toyota business practices, and there's a third element, which is on-the-job development, which is how you teach Toyota business practices. And that allows them to leverage the abilities of all their employees as problem solvers, not just a few individuals who get belts or get special training or who are engineers. So in sum, if you wanted to summarize what Toyota has been able to do, it's to define as one company, one culture that centers around problem solving, centers around a way of thinking that's very rigorous and very deep and also very humble. We don't know, we think, we guess, we try, we learn. And they've been able to develop their leaders at all levels and across all functions with a similar way of thinking. Some are stronger than others, but they all have a somewhat similar way of thinking about the company, what they believe in, respect for people, continuous improvement, and how we do continuous improvement through Toyota business practices and how we develop people to think deeply about problems. Thank you. I'll take questions now.